12:45, we're live, and we're back in the United States. How about that? Back to your regular scheduled programming. Live at 12:45 eBay Gamer. So, we have some heavy hitter auctions today. Got to start out with that. And I think we have some possibility for snipes. I even brought out my lucky can koozie for snipes. Mr. Nissan here himself. Mr. Nissan. And what are we having today? Well, let's take a look. We have Axeman by Surly again. That's what we're starting out with. So you got to drink what you got to drink. And we got to drink. I've gone 2 days without a sip of alcohol, and it's got back from Mexico where I think we just drink 24 hours a day. So this might taste real good. Take a sip. Oh, do you hear that? Let's take that first sip. I'm glad the show is only going to be about an hour today because we got to get outside. It's really nice out. I went for a bike ride today, and it was quite romantic, let me say. Let's run through the games that are going up today. All right, the first two auctions we're going to see, and we can do them 10-minute intervals now, so there's not as long a time between it. Katie caved. Dang it. Cheers to you, Katie, though. I'm thinking we got to have some drinks tonight because it is church night. All right, so every 10 minutes we have auctions, not 15. So we're going to be on a faster pace, which I'm really happy with. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe I can even shrink it a little bit more in the future because eBay gave me some new tools, believe it or not, which is great. So the first auctions that will end, we have the Power Stone for Sega Dreamcast, which you can see is at $76. And we have before lot a Sega Game Gear games that is at $14.29. How about that? Then the next two we're going to see are the Gunbird 2 for Sega Dreamcast and Space Channel 5 for Sega Dreamcast. Space Channel 5 has some wiggle room, possible sniping. Gunbird, holy hot item. Now, the next two, we got Virtuoso for 3DO. That has some wiggle room, let me tell you. It's got some wiggle room in there. Could get a snipe. Let's call that one another hot item. And then we got Gigawing 2 with all the water damage. It's still at $107. Kind of makes me uncomfortable, I'm not going to lie. And then look at these last two heavy hitters. Ooh, almost $250 for the Ghouls and Ghosts Replicade and the Game Boy Color at $156. Now, granted, you might say, I got a Game Boy Color at home. Well, this one's special because it's got Pikachu on it. Not fancy. But no, we got some good items coming up here. So it's something worth getting excited about. And where have I been with my wife and my cousin, Craig, and his wife, Laura? I was in Mexico. Look at that. Viva Mexico. My wife took this beautiful picture. And then, I mean, just look at that. That's a nice picture. Good job, Stace. Then we take a look over here, and this is the group I traveled with. It was hot as hell the entire week. A lot hotter than usual. I can't even describe the heat. So it was nice. So this was on Mexican Independence Day party they had out there. I believe they celebrated that on the Sunday night when we were there. And there was a lot of locals staying for that weekend. It was kind of fun to see that. You heard a lot more Spanish than usual. Believe it or not, in Mexico, right? But the drinks are good. The food was phenomenal. The heat was hot. Pools were decent, but they were warm. So might be one of my last September trips. We'll have to see on that one. Pretty exciting though, let me tell you. All right, so what else do we have to talk about today? We'll go over the games we have for next week that are going up. We have 11 video game auctions plus 2 bonus items. And the show will still only be about an hour, the way I'm cramming them in now. I'm going to try to keep the shows to about an hour. This 2-hour stuff gets to be a little bit much to sit and talk to yourself. So we'll see if we can pull this off. And then I can get to the post office even earlier if needed, or give a little more time to people to pay to get to the post office anyway, which is always important. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I did, as I mentioned, I took a bicycle ride today. I went and took my parents' garbage in. It was pretty exciting. And Mike and Mark can respect that I had the electric bike just on level one. So I did a lot of the pedaling myself, which was good. But it gives you enough to push up the hills a little bit. And the heavy bike, it's really heavy, I gotta tell you. So anyway, some good times. So let's take a look at where we're at right now. These are the two items we have up. We have them ending in 9 minutes and 25 seconds. And they are the Game Gear games, where we have a Batman and Robin game, Eco the Dolphin, Sonic 2, and Columns. And they all were tested if you watch the video. There's some good stuff. We got. Well, that's interesting. I keep getting these weird messages from people that I know I have their number, but I'll message somebody and they say they may be offline and the message doesn't go through. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's really strange. Anyway, Verizon, whatever. Could be a Samsung thing, Google, whatevs, right? Regardless though, this Power Stone game here, it's got some opportunities. Uh, it is, if we were to cheat and take a look at the value in the pricing guide here, let's just look it up here. Video game price guide. Let's just cheat. Power Stone Dreamcast. Let's just cheat here a little bit. So this is interesting, right? So complete in box, the value is at 80, right? So we're sitting at a pretty good number at 76. Just the disc alone is worth 56. But having it complete is 80. Now we're sitting at the 76. This individual is going to have to pay minimum $6.50 shipping. So they're already technically kind of over the value, but the value is just not always completely accurate either. Sometimes these will go for quite a bit lower. Sometimes they go for quite a bit more. So I think we can enjoy watching that briefly, if that makes any sense, and we can take a look. But for instance, these Game Gear games are together are worth more than $14.29. There's no doubt about that. Um, in fact, the value is probably right around $23. So somebody might be getting the deal, or they may not be. So we're going to be putting up some more Game Gear games next week as we're talking about Game Gear here. Let me show you a picture here. Or not picture, but we have 3 Game Gear games that are all valued at $30 or higher. This is X-Men something world. I can't read through the thing that well. Masters of Darkness. This is valued at like $50. It's a vampire game. And I'm gonna have to open this one to try to read it. It's kind of dark down here. Crystal Warrior. I think this is worth like $50 too. So they're kind of rare for Game Gear games. And we'll be putting those up next in 2 weeks. This week I put up a couple more rare ones. And we'll go through that list after this first auction ends, I think. Here we can talk a little bit about next week. But it should be just a nice time. Still working on my mod back here. This is interesting. The game like kills itself after a while if you don't play it, which I'd rather just keep cycling through the game. But I'm adding gun games and things to my racing cabinet, and it's actually working quite well. I just have some screen issues with sizes and things like that. So that project will continue on this week into the weekend probably, but it should be fun. Cheers. You know, it's weird because I can see myself on camera on the second monitor over here, and there's probably like a half-second delay, and it kind of like it's disorientating when you do things like the cheers, I guess. But you know, hey, we're still holding 100% positive feedback. That's good. At a 560 rating, so I guess you can't complain about that either. But we'll see. All right, we're getting down to that 5 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm gonna have to maybe. No, I won't show that off quite yet. Oh, maybe I will. This is interesting. So, if Kyle's watching or not, or Katie, this is in your future. So this is one of those bug guns and assault rifle, right? So you fill it up with salt here in the top, and that's its ammo. And it's got like a pump action, right? And there's a safety and everything, and you just shoot and whatever. Well, the guns aren't that cheap. I think I paid $50 for this one like a year and a half ago or 2 years, can't remember. And they've made some new versions. So my neighbor Kyle, he got one with like a bump here and and a laser scope on it. And I was kind of jealous of his laser scope, so I just ordered a laser scope for mine. And I can turn it on by hitting this button here, and you can kind of see it here. Let's see if I can do this. Right, see that? Oh, it's really bright actually. There we go. I can turn it on and off that way. What a fun toy. It's wasp season here right now, and these knock them down pretty well, actually. And then my buddy Mike stepped it up and bought the new revolver one on order that uses a CO2 cartridge and salt. So he's going to make the bugs literally disappear. So we'll see how that goes. All right, let's get that desktop on there so you guys can see some action. Nothing has changed. And we're getting close to that 3.5 minute mark. We'll see what happens here. We get down, if you guys haven't watched this show much before, when we get down to the 1 minute mark, sometimes you see a little bit of action. But real eBay gamer people, if they really want something, they bid within the last 5 seconds. And anything under 10 seconds, I really consider a true snipe. But when you do it right at 10 seconds, you're leaving the door wide open. Computers are fast today. Internet's fast. You don't have to sit there and wait for the dial-up to send the signal to jump into somebody else's dial-up back into their mainframe or computer or whatever the hell. But server, I should say. But it is interesting. So we'll see what happens here. We're under the 3 minute mark. When you start seeing bids like under 5 minutes, and they're just at the 5 minutes or 3 minutes even, they're really nervous people that think I might not get it in time or whatever. Lots of times when people bid early, all you're doing is driving the price up for yourself because you're letting somebody else bid on the auction after you. So we'll see what happens. Although I do appreciate it. All week it is fun to watch these auctions go. This week in particular, a lot of bids throughout the weeks. A lot of bids. If you look at this Power Stone here, that's at 14 bids. That's pretty hefty. And we have 20 watchers. And then over here in the Game Gear, we have 11 watchers active yet. And that's got 11 bids. 11 bids to only be at $14.29. That's a lot of low bids. But we'll see what happens here. We're under 2 minutes. I'm hoping for some action. Back in the States. Let's see what happens here. I had to post these all up before I went to Mexico to schedule to go live last Wednesday while I was in Mexico. And then watching the bids when I was in Mexico was kind of fun. Not going to lie. But it is Wednesday. And the beer is tasting good. Yesterday, my wife and I both kind of had a headache. I said, I think we have alcohol withdrawals. Oh, thank you. I do look tan, don't I? I did get tan actually. These lights not even reflected enough, but um yeah, it was hot. I got really sunburned on my back and the front of my chest, which made me mad because we go to Mexico usually about twice a year. It's been years since I've gotten burned. But I was applying and reapplying. All right, we're at the 1 minute mark, folks. We can do this. 1 minute. 1 minute remaining. All right, let's see what happens. I don't expect much from the Game Gear. These Game Gear are kind of common games. Now, the Batman Rob I threw in there is a little bit less common, but then you got to buy these other games to get it, right? But they haven't been driving as well in lots as I hoped. But we'll see. I can live with the $14. I would like to see Power Stone jump up just because. I know the value is only 80, but these Sega Dreamcast games are getting harder and harder, and they're getting more and more popular all the time too. And they just released Power Stone for the PC and PS4 just recently. All right, we're at the 10-second snipe zone. Snipe zone. What's going on here? We can get nothing? Lucky can koozie? Oh, 94! We got a snipe. Yeehaw! Why it goes up over the value of the product, it's beyond me, but I like it. It must be getting harder to get your hands on. So what happens is on that site is they monitor eBay sales and stuff. So by somebody buying it for 94, it will change the pricing guide. It'll move it up. So there we go. I'm doing my best to help your collections, folks. That was a nice little snipe. A little 18-buck pickup. All right, let's move on to the next two, shall we? Let me hit refresh here first. So this got a little bump to 19. This was at like 14 something when we started the show. And we have the Space Channel 5 and Gunbird 2. Let's take a little peek. What is Gunbird 2 worth? And Space Channel 5, huh? Gunbird, is it one word or two words? We'll do two. Oh, it must be one word. Gunbirds 2, look at that. $126. So we might get another snipe in here yet. Because we have it at 115 right now, but you never know. Value could be going down, could be going up. And then we have the Space Channel 5. Let's just check that out. Whoops, it's a 5. I don't think I have part 2. I just have the first one here. Oh, so look at this. This is interesting. Okay, I get it. I hate when they click on things. Loose complete. So $33 is the complete price. And we're sitting at 19. So we folks, we still have some wiggle room. We have some big items this week, and we still have wiggle room. That makes me excited. I'm not gonna. All right, let's talk about this. I get this old school gamer magazine in the mail, and I hate to admit it, I haven't been really looking at it much. And this one just came in the mail this week. And I thought we'd take a little quick peek at what it's all about. Not like we're going to page through the magazine. But we always got to kill a little bit of time because we've got 7 minutes and 29 seconds to go. Hey, look, there's Katie. I'm a little behind because I had to hit pause. You guys are ridiculous with those salt things. Well, Katie, you missed a good snipe. But you can also, if you guys want to in the chats, it's kind of fun to guess what the games are going to go for. You just saw the values, supposed values, right? So yeah, this old school gamer. Here, let me put it up on full screen here. It's pretty cool. It was a Kickstarter thing, and now they're on their like second season of it, whatever. But it's kind of like getting an old video game magazine in the mail again, where everything's nice, full color, big articles to read. But what they mainly do, I mean, they'll have ads in here for like Stern, one of their new pinball machines, but they talk about old games. Now let's see if I can find something that kind of relates to us here today. Here's interviews with Galloping Ghost, that big arcade. And they'll have like tips and tricks for some of the old games sometimes. Ooh. I'm putting this up for sale really soon here. That's the Atari. Joe Merchant, we can thank him for that. We'll be putting that up for sale here soon. I worked on fixing that thing. And I got her running. Look at that. NES Donkey Kong. So anyway, it's a cool magazine. Sit back and read it. And you can get the digital version too. You don't have to get the print, but I kind of like getting the print, you know? It even has a smell. Remember, like, what was it? Game Spot, I think it was called. And then there was something gamer. Anyway, there was always EGM. And EGM I really liked a lot at first, but then I started getting into more, like, I don't know, say, underground catalogs more and more as time went on. Or magazines, I should say. Hey, magazines. But yeah, it's fun with the salt guns, Katie. We enjoy shooting things like bugs. We shoot each other. It doesn't hurt that bad. But I'm afraid of Mike's new gun. It's got the CO2 cartridge. The guy at Space Channel 5's got 26 watchers. That's pretty intense. And Gunbird only has 16 to the Space Channel 5, so maybe people are seeing the perceived value when we're getting ready for a snipe. Mm, I love IPAs. So on our Mexico trip, right? Booked this thing a while back before I started this channel up, whatever. And I hate flights. I don't hate flying. I hate the people on the airplane. Yes, I'm stuck up. I'm better than everyone on the airplane. Oh, there you go. I said it. At least you feel that way. Anyway, we booked first class this time again. What a difference. On the way out, you get a pre-cocktail before the flight. And I'm sitting there drinking I think a mimosa. And then you take off and they bring you another drink. I think we had like cranberry vodkas or something like that. It's breakfast, And then they brought us hot breakfast. And then I think by the time we landed, I had a Jack Coke. I mean, dear Lord. 2 seats, oversized, just my wife and I, the whole row. It's just, why would you go any other way, right? Then on the way home, we didn't get the pre-flight cocktail this time, but they were running behind a little. But I had 4 IPAs on the way home. They were so good. Voodoo Rangers. And the stewardess kept laughing at me because I kept going. And she'd bring me another one. And I just drink it out of the can because I'm classy like that for first class. Very classy. All right, 3 minutes, 18 seconds. New Zelda game comes out for the Switch tomorrow. Might have to make a purchase. Katie, I don't know if you're live or not, if you're still hitting on your pause, but I'd like to think what your guess is. You're the best guesser on these lots of times for the Space Channel 5 and the Gunbird 2. Oh, wait, we don't even have the camera up. Look at that. Son of a gun, I'm just looking at me. Sorry, guys. Terrible situation. So both of these games are in very good shape. It's kind of a holographic, I can't think of that word, lenticular print on the Space Shuttle 5 cover. Here, sorry, Katie, now you should be able to see it. I just fixed it. Now I forward. I don't know what that means, Katie. It's very strange. Yeah, take a guess on the prices here. I'm going to say Space Shuttle 5 is going to hit $31. And I'm going to say Gunbird, I'm going to go with $132. Oh, Katie goes 35 on Space Channel 5. We'll see what happens. We're under 2 minutes, so we're getting real close now. 175 for Gunbird. Ooh, I hope you're right. If you're right on both of these, you should probably play some E-tabs tonight at the Big Dog. I do kind of want to go to Big Dog, but I still have some drinks outside afterwards, I think. But it is really nice out. We've been really spoiled this year with really good weather in Minnesota. Uh, we've had plenty of rain. You didn't really have to water the lawn at all or anything like that, like I would anyway. But a lot of lawn mowing this year, that's for sure. Mm. Hey, we got a bid 21. We got some early snipers. Not really a sniper, just jitters. So what that just did is the person that had the high bid before that. Oh, Katie's up for Big Dog. That's good. Let's see. We're 40. Let's say we're 45 seconds. 45 seconds ago. 45 seconds ago. 21 and 115. It's nice to get that little $2 bump there already, though. Hope it doesn't scare anybody away. Let's see here. 30 seconds to go. Oh, gosh, that tastes so good. 20 seconds. We're getting in the sniper country here in about 10, 5, 4, 3. All right, here we go. It's time for sniping. Come on, snipers. Come on. There, we got a 50 cents. I guess it's technically a snipe. Oh, nothing on the gunbird. I can't play a snipe clip for that. Maybe like just quick. Okay, that was rough. Whew, that was bad sniping. So Gunbird, Gunbird. What did we say Gunbird's price was at again? Gunbird 2. So you can see the scenario. They got a better deal than the actual price. It's 126. And they got it for 115. And they also got a better deal on the Space Channel 5. So good for them. Good for them. All right, let's hit the refresh. Let's get our next two items up and loaded. Oh, the Gigawing went up a little bit since last we looked at it, I mean. That game makes me uncomfortable because you can kind of see it here, right? See the waves in the book there? Significant water damage, which I advertised in there. And the front book too. Like it is, you can't get the book out of the case really. But it doesn't look bad as a whole. Like, and the game's perfect. There's nothing wrong with the game. Play is great. Nice clean disc. So, but I think Gigawing 2 is worth a lot of money. So let's take a look, shall we? Okay, 1650, 121. Gigawing 2 for Sega Dreamcast. Oh, that's why it's going up so much. Look at what it's worth. It's worth $325. We're not even at the loose price yet. So who cares if there's water damage to the book and case? I don't feel bad now at 121. Holy moly macaroni. $325 for a Dreamcast game? I knew the game was rare. Wow. And let's see here. Copy. I'm not going to attempt to spell that game. I'm getting all these notifications. All right. So the 3DO Virtuoso, it's kind of confusing because see, it says it's 113 with book and game, everything, and loose price is 55. So this is sitting way low right now. But the game came with a big cardboard case, the long box. I don't have the long box. So I doubt it'll jump that high, but 16 watchers on a 3DO game is pretty high. I'm not gonna lie. So I think this might be some of the best sniping we'll see today between these two. That's my gut. I'm going with it. But yeah, we'll see on that. We will definitely see in that. So in pinball news, at Games, they released this 4K ALU pinball machine. And it's expensive. I think it retails for about $1,400. But it truly has the three screens, like kind of like my home build, the big, really nice one. And but you can't just usually buy these for. I know 1,400 sounds like a lot, but you're gonna pay $5,000 for anything halfway decent. And it runs on a different processor that it's a single board computer instead of a full-fledged PC. So I was really skeptical on this, right? So how you can do 4K? Because I have trouble pushing 4K with a current gen i7 and what do I have in there? A 3600 Ti. And it works well. Don't get me wrong. It works really well. But I'm thinking about the single board computer and how are they going to do it? Well, so they come out. 6 months later, still terrible lag with the flippers. Just terrible. Like unplayable in my opinion. It has to feel real if it's virtual pinball. Well, they just came out with some updates and they're starting to hone it in and the lag is acceptable now. So, if you're looking for a pinball machine at home, um they it's a good purchase to buy. I think now at this point, because it seems like Zen Studios is really working closely with them, and they're doing lots of different skins. They have a Jurassic Park one coming up now, and all this other good stuff. So we'll see. This Gigawing, this could be big. This could be real big. We'll see. Um, on that note, apparently Kyle's trees are getting cut down. They struck a deal. Look at that. Way to go, Katie and Kyle. See something for me to watch during the day. I'll see here. All right, we got 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And maybe what we can do for 1 sec here, let's do that. Why don't we take a look at what's scheduled? Oh, some stuff's already listing probably too, because stuff lists as we go. That's valid. All right, so what's just listed now? We got the Game Boy Pocket up for 99 cents. We have Out of This World and Battletech, a game lot for the Sega Genesis, up for 99 cents. We have Death and Return of Superman. I should put the in there because it is the Death and Return of Superman. Whatever. And with no book though. Smash TV, Sega Genesis, no book. And then what else is scheduled to go? Let's start up here. Immersonary 3DO. That's with the long box. I talked about the long cardboard box. We have Star Wars Rebel Assault. Trip D, Panasonic 3DO, long box. This is quite the game. Really good puzzle game. So we used to have girls do our dishes for us. And then we'd let them play it. That's what we did in college. Ristar, this is kind of a rare Game Gear game. And then the Super Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Oh no, I gotta edit this. Sorry, we're gonna do a little bit of fun stuff on air. I do not have the manual. Ooh, good thing I looked at this. Sorry for that. That's a close call. All right. Sorry, let's get back in there. Let's go look at these. The Bleemcast lot, that's an interesting one. That you could play some PlayStation games on your Sega Dreamcast. And so you got Metal Gear Solid, Tekken 3, and Gran Turismo 2. Now these are the discs that allow you to play the original games, so you still have to cough up the original games yourself. Power Stone 2 with the water damage again, just like Gigawing. And then 2 random things I picked up at the garage ceiling this last week, so we'll see how those go. Most exciting, let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you. Oh, Virtual also went up. Let's look at that. $34.50 from 16. That's enough for like 3 beers at Big Dog, just right there, extra. I tell you, it's the way I think. When you work for yourself and you run your own business, you think of your pay as a number of beers at Big Dog. It's kind of sad. Oh, I didn't see Bat Cato, I mean. My brother. Our old meds were Next Generation, GameSpot, EGM, Game Informer is one I'm thinking of, Official PlayStation Magazine, and there were a few others. Yeah, I really liked Game Informer. That was probably my favorite of the bunch. I mean, EGM was good, Electronic Gaming Monthly, but and what was interesting about Games Informer is they were located in Minnesota. I think Eden Prairie or something like that. I can't remember. At least back in the day they were. Who knows how they ended up. I think they just did their last print not too long ago, too. I think my brother sent me something about that. All right, we're getting down to 30 seconds. What could possibly happen here? I mean, Gigawing 2 is worth a lot of money, but it's damaged. But it's better than a loose copy, if that makes sense. But we'll see what happens. Somebody may have just thrown it away in the past when that puppy got wet, but I hung on to it for another 20 years. All right, snipe time. Come on. Come on. We got wiggle room here. Oh, there we go. 132. I guess we could call that one a snipe.
Wow!
That's right. Wow. Another 3 beers at Big Dog just went through. So that's okay. We'll take it. It's a good week overall. This one's kind of surprised me quite a bit. I thought I'd get about $100 for that. And we're already up to 156. And this one too. So these New Wave toys, these are tricky. Because you can go in and you can buy them. Like I just pre-ordered Crystal Castle. And you get a pretty good pre-order price. You get a decent discount. The shipping's ridiculous how expensive every time. But you do. And then if you keep them and don't open them and you wait until they sell out, you can like almost double your money. I don't know how long we can keep that going. But I did order the Crystal Castle again. I have the cigarette machine coming and also Golden Tea coming. So I'll just leave those puppies sealed and we'll just unload them here again too. It's kind of crazy. It's all about timing and I don't know why people that want to pay that much for these wait until the end. But so if you look at the Ghouls and Ghosts, I pre-ordered this probably it was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I don't even know. A year and a half ago probably. All done, all said and done, shipping, tax, everything, $160. I opened it, I played it, I've displayed it. It's in perfect condition. I kept all the boxes, all the wrapping, everything. But look it's at $248 right now. So I make a profit of $90. Seems like a no-brainer to me. And I'll tell you, if this was still new and sealed, it might be $350 you get for it. So that's more than double your money. It's interesting. It just is. So those things still do happen today, if that makes sense. Which I guess kind of makes me happy. But these are our last 2 items of the day already. And I was going to play some video games for a while. Maybe we can still do that for like... Well, let's just play 2 seconds of this game here. Because it's up for auction this week. And it's rare as snot. And there's a good story about how I got this game. I bought a lot on eBay. He had it listed and he didn't represent it very well. I had to do a lot of things to clean it up, but it plays great now and it looks really good. So, doesn't have the book, but I can generally live with it. So I played this earlier in a video this week. I'm going to skip some of the story. I don't have a lot of time. But I was impressed with this game because it's kind of a Double Dragon type beat 'em up, but you're frickin' Superman. And that's cool. And the graphics are pretty good for Sega Genesis. Look at that. You can like shoot with your eyes. They got some... Oh, missed him. There's a delay with the shooting the eyes though. And if you hit C like twice, if you hold C, is it? There. Oh, you can... If you think is it, you tap it twice? Yeah, there you go. You can fly. You can pick up motors on the ground. I think that's a motor. I don't know. It's a weird looking thing. So this is so I'm from a street that's called Knights, and my buddy Mike lives on the street, and the villains on this really remind me of the people who lived on his street. Get. Oh, jeez. I'm Superman. Bullets can't even hurt me. It's a fun game. Very, very good controls. Very arcadey. I think it's only 1 player though. Which I guess would there be 2 Supermans? Could be Superwoman. But apparently you die in this game probably because it is the death. Oh, I'm bad at the double jump thing. Pick up this drill motor thing. They could have a few more characters to fight on the first stage anyway. Play this for another minute or so here. I really enjoy this game. Get some of that health. Usually when I have a gun, I try to walk halfway into the room before shooting somebody. I think it's good strategy. Uh-oh, that can't be good. Shoot him with my eyes. Oh, that's a bad move. All right. I think I was a tick. I do enjoy it. It's a good game. Get to do my favorite thing here in about an hour and a half. Let's go to the post office. Tell you what, going to the post office is like going into any reality show that's a train wreck you've ever seen. That'd be good. Because the weirdest people are in line there, and they ask the weirdest questions. Alright, I better quit this. I just want to see what the next level looks like. Oh. Sorry. I got my little gameplay in. We didn't see any movement here, still 156, 248. I don't know how much room we have on this. These two games here are pretty high. Even though I have 37 watches on the Game Boy. It was 38 earlier today. Hey, there's Scott. Want to take my packages too? Oh my god, my arm's gonna be so full, Scott. You can ride with me if you want. I like to ship things same day. If people pay me right away, I think they need to be rewarded to get it shipped the same day. And that's part of the reason why I have the show scheduled this time and the auction's ending this time. It gives me a good one. Good timing to do it. Joe Merchant just sent me something about thank you. So call out to Joe. Hope you watch the show later, or if you're on right now, you should type something in the chat. But anywho, it is what it is. See, look at that. Area 51 already defaulted back to another screen after not playing for a while. Must be something in the emulator. We're getting down 2:15 to go. And this is the last auctions for this week. So next week, again, we have a total of 11. This week we had 8. And then plus 2 bonus ones, if you want to stay till the end. They're more unique things, we'll say. But, just got some sort of notifications. Probably delayed notifications. Let's just see here if all the other things are pulling in here. I'm getting all kinds of notifications now from the games that have ended. It's always fun to see what games get watchers. So this got a watcher right away. That one kind of surprises me a little bit. We got 5 watchers already on the Superman game we're just playing. This game is rare. 2 watchers on the Game Boy. So we're getting there. We're getting there. But I just don't know if we're going to get snipes in this. I feel like we're sitting high. You just don't know what to expect when you start everything at 99 cents, right? Well, you end up getting a lot of bids. But what's interesting, if you look at the $248, that started at 99 cents. It only has 8 bids. So people knew they had to pay for it, not just, I'm going to try to win this for 99 cents and bid on it day one. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen, folks. All right, 1 minute. 24 bids, though, on the, I've been watching while swapping film. Oh, yeah, so Scott, my neighbor Scott here, he's gotten into the Wonder Swan. And not just the Wonder Swan, but the black and white original Wonder Swan. Which is a unique gaming system. It was definitely a how do you say it? Not a hit. In Japan, it did pretty well, I think. And I don't know if they ever really did release. I was going to look that up if they ever did release a US one. I feel like they may have, but it's a very strange gaming system. because full color, everything was going wild, and they came out with this black and white like Game Boy screen. Oh, better than Game Boy technically, but the same what Neo Geo Pocket did too for a while. Um, but then they released a color. Oh, 5 seconds! I'm like just talking away, and we got no snipes coming. What? Oh, we got a snipe on the Game Boy. 182. We'll take that, and we got here. Ooh. How about that? $182.50 for a Game Boy. I did not expect that. I was hoping to get about $100 if I was lucky. But 182, that is something else. Way to go, Bitter. Way to go. Who was the Bitter's name? Because there's a guy that asked for an extra pitcher. It wasn't him. Ooh, he's got a rating of 1. Let's hope he pays. Well, folks, it's a short one this week. I got them compressed. We're going to try to keep these down to around an hour, but this is only 45 minutes. Next week's going to be about an hour, okay? So I do appreciate you if you're hanging out with me. Come see me at Big Dog if you're in town today, and enjoy the rest of your week and bid on the new stuff that's popping up right now. Take care.